Stuart Varney, the most pompous Fox News host there is, he spoke to a local politician from California. And I want you to take note of what they're outraged by here. Like, it might seem kind of normal at face value, but dig a little deep here for me. And just take note of what really is their assumption going into this, what their premise is. You know, what they think is the default correct thing to do. So, the framing is the most important here. That's what I'm trying to say. Take a look.
I mean, just when you think it can't get any crazier in the state of California, it just keeps getting worse. Now, we've become the absolute nanny state. We're moving away from the Golden State thanks to our own governor, local legislators. Think about this. Not only are we dealing with the backdrop of SB 54, creating a sanctuary for criminals in our community, now we're dealing with new legislation coming out of Sacramento. We're looking at SB 274. This is going to open up Medi-Cal, federally funded program for health care to all illegal immigrants in the state of California. That's 1.8 illegal immigrants who will now be eligible for government-funded health care. How are we paying for this? We can't even take care of our own citizens. 115,000 unsheltered Californians living on our streets.
Now, this latest move to give Medi-Cal free medical care to poorer people to be extended to illegals. You can't pay for it, at least I don't know how you pay for it. In my opinion, that is a play for the Hispanic vote. Locks the Hispanic vote into the Democrat Party. I can say that. Can you?
I can say that. It's really unfortunate because if you look at the situation at hand, we're no longer able to take care of our own citizens in this country, in the state of California. We're really in a sad place when we do not have the ability to pay for basic human necessities anymore. It's completely unreasonable that we're trying to find our way out of this situation by taxing us on basic needs. Drinking water. I mean, we are in a situation in California and we can't find our way out if we keep extending these benefits to others who are being disrespectful of our laws, not coming into this country through legal methods. We welcome immigrants who want to respect our laws and come to our country. We can plan for these individuals that come here. What we cannot tolerate are people crashing our borders in huge caravans, criminals being released back out on our streets, wreaking havoc on the citizens of California. Who are we protecting in this state anymore?
Well said.
Well, okay, so I like how they're like, well, we can't even take care of our own citizens anymore. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, every time a Democrat proposes a bill to do exactly that, like Medicare for all, that's nothing but taking care of our own people. I mean, what, nearly 30 million don't have health insurance, 45,000 people die every year because they don't have access to basic health care. So somebody like Bernie says, hey, I'm proposing Medicare for all. What does Stuart Varney say? What would this Republican woman say from California? Are they for Medicare for all? No, they're not. So shut the fuck up about we can't take care of our own citizens. Because every time somebody on the populist left proposes a bill to take care of our citizens, you say no, you're against it. Are you for free college? Are you for wiping the debt slate clean? The college debt slate? Nope. They're not in favor of it. So you're not allowed to argue like, we can't take care of our own citizens. Because whenever anybody proposes a bill to take care of our citizens, you're like, I'm not in favor of that. So you're the problem here. Now, furthermore, look at what they're angry about. Look at what they're angry about. The idea is, okay, well, we're going to have health care for undocumented immigrants. Okay. You're against that? How can anybody be against that? So what are you saying? Are you arguing that they should be not allowed to get any health care whatsoever? So what happens when an undocumented immigrant is in a car accident and they're bleeding out on the ground, Stuart? What's supposed to happen? Are they supposed to not get coverage? You want to not give them health care? Because that's what you're arguing. The idea that you're offended and outraged at the ludicrous idea that, you know, Medicare would be extended to undocumented immigrants. What do you mean? How can you be offended at that? What's the alternative? The alternative is, oh, that person broke their leg or that person needs cancer treatment, and they can fuck off. They're not going to get it because they're not legal citizens, so fuck off. We don't want to give you treatment. Thank you. That now I know that this is your position and this is what you think. That's wonderful. I see. That's why I told you to pay attention to the framing here, because they're outraged at this idea of Medicare being extended to undocumented immigrants. But if you're outraged by that idea, well then, by simple logical deduction, what policy would you prefer? Not having health insurance or health care for undocumented immigrants? That apparently is it. So, and then by the way, also this idea that they're so outraged that, that it's a sanctuary city. Listen, man, under Democratic administrations and Republican administrations, there has been a policy of deporting criminals. So when you frame it as it's so outrageous that it's a sanctuary city, they're not protecting the criminal undocumented immigrants. They're protecting undocumented immigrants who have not committed a crime. Now, I get it. You think just the fact that they came in here illegally is crime enough, and that should be enough to deport them. Well, then you're deporting, 12 million people or so? And you're collapsing the economy in the process, and you're ripping up lives that have been here sometimes for decades in the process? So they frame it as if it's this outrageous thing when it's really not. And the whole idea, they don't even give you the argument that's used in favor of sanctuary cities. They just, they make their points with the assumption of there's obviously no logical reason for a sanctuary city. No, if you listen to the people who've advocated for them and are in favor of them, they say, we actually reduce crime if we have a sanctuary city. Why? If somebody's an undocumented immigrant and they know they'll be deported if the authorities find out, well, then when they see an actual crime being committed, they're not going to call the cops. Because they're thinking, I'm not going to risk getting fucking deported because somebody I don't know, I'm watching a crime happen unfold in front of me. But in a sanctuary city where they know, okay, well, if you're an undocumented immigrant and you haven't done anything wrong, you're not a criminal, well, then they can call and then the cops can come and they can fucking take care of the fact that a crime just happened. So that's the argument in favor of them. But they don't even tell you that context, that there's a really logical argument to maybe be in favor of sanctuary cities. They just frame it as if Democrats are going around going, "Mwahaha, how can we give MS-13 more money and power and let them run the cities?" So they're just assholes and losers, and they don't accurately represent their opponents' arguments, and they get really outraged by things like healthcare for undocumented immigrants, when the alternative is what? No healthcare for undocumented immigrants. Which is really, really fucking barbaric and also hilarious that the guys who typically love to talk about how Christian they are also yeah, I don't care. Let them die on the street if they're undocumented.